Here we go, day 4, fast cardio down.
If you crash a car into your best friend's house, would you be quiet as words came out of their mouth? Stop, don't do it, I have been waiting for it. Stop, I knew it would come. If you find a guard next to your girlfriend's bed, would it be hard to sort out your spinning head? Stop, don't say that dear, but you wanted him here. Stop, don't give him the clear. Take a picture of them. Take a picture of them. Take a picture of them. Take a picture of them.
Hey guys, how are we going? So, here we go, midway through Changed Mind, Changed Body Week 1. This is all about that mindset. Let me turn the computer this way. All about mindset and pushing on through those times that may not be ultimately great. Okay, so this one's a big topic that I've pretty much based this whole experience, whole series around. Okay, so for those guys who know me, know that around January, I was in a pretty tough time, and I kept mentioning this in the last few series. Let's leave this for now. And it was a time where everything I knew and everything I had currently in place was shocked out of me and kind of uprooted and those type of things. So mainly with my work, so I was working as a PT at the time. I was running quite a successful business in the hometown that I lived in, and from there we found out within maybe a 1.5 month period that I had to move. Alright, so I had huge decisions that I had to make. I was either going to go one way to move or follow my parents and continue a whole new life in a different place. And it was a hard, that's a big decision already, changing from, if anyone's moved before, changing environment, changing friends, those type of things. On top of that, I also had probably my dog dying. Wasn't a good start to this whole the whole lot, everything, and still we're very close to her and those type of things. So that started off pretty much my shit run. Then New Year's come along. I started off New Year's hoping that things would pick up, and yeah, my PT started to drop off. I put a lot of investment into my current relationship at the time, and yeah, and that ended up blowing up. So it was a time that I was even reflecting on now. I've kind of put it in the back of my mind, and from that, it's not the easiest place I'd stay, and even now it's still very fresh. And suffering a breakup like that when I was at that time was probably not the best way, but from that created so much more. And where I am now, I would not even be close to even thinking about if I was still in that mind frame and still back there, or continued with that type of relationship. And from there I've grown, I've met so many cool new people, I've reconnected with people, and I've had more time. Instead of being now living a life single, I'm actually whole. I'm so whole, and it's a lot different now. So I'm living life that people would actually dream about, and it's really cool. And now I can push in further and more create that kind of stuff. But if you seriously asked me in January, there was weeks that I didn't smile. Like, and for people that know me, I am quite a happy person. I'm bouncy. I really like to intake as much as I can from life. But you even go back into my socials back then, and I wasn't posting. I was pretty dark, some of the posts I was putting out, and it was quite worrying. And it was a mixture of obviously a few of my external environments, so my dog dying, my relationship crashing, those type of things, with a mix of I've just come off the tail end of this massive year where I placed #1 in Australia, and I placed up there in the top quality of the best athletes in the world, and then I've come back to this, and boom, 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 I just get knocked down pretty freaking hard. And yeah, like, I thought at points that I was pretty low, and then it would end up going lower and lower, and that's when I guess it was a perfect opportunity for me to make this change and move up to a completely different town, restart over, re-kick over. I had to seriously sit down and decide, well, all that pain that I've just gone through, well, that's mandatory, you have to do that. But suffering, well, that's optional. You don't have to suffer. Like, it's still painful. Like, even now, like, when I do think about it, some of that stuff, yeah, it's painful, but I'm not suffering anymore. Like, I can see the good, and back then, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. That's my all-time favorite quote. And looking back, yeah, I'm completely happy, and I'm going to show you a few of the things that I do throughout the day, and I'll put a little montage at the end of this clip, and it will be, yeah, a lot better. But things that got me out of that shit position, all right, this is, you know what was going on then, and yeah, it was pretty dark, and it's hard because being in the ICN and being on social media, a lot of the things were still in front, so people still knew about like this relationship breaking down, that it was so happy on socials, but in the real time of it, it was pretty brutal. It was not how it was painted. So pretty much, how do you turn something so dark into coming out and suffering? So I pretty much went back to where I'm from. I created my vision again. I created my goals, which I talked about in that last episode. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. I created something that kind of like your 10 commandments. All right, now put these on paper. Let's pull them up. Put these ones on paper, and it's my kind of declaration to things that, if everything's taken away from me, these are what are true, and these are my morals, and these are what I go from. So I'm going to show you pretty much what they are on my computer if this comes up. Alright, so declaration, pretty much help each other, educate others, making time to go outdoors, create a way to find money doing something I love, take up the opportunity and trust that people want to help, be true to yourself, and then surround yourself with greatness and people that bring me up. So these are seriously the things that I can look at if times are down and I'm lost or anything like that, and I know these are true and these are based about me. I created them, and they're the things. So that's an awesome place to start. Is, okay, you're sick of suffering, you're sick of being in that spot, so how do we get out of it? Start with the simplest things. Break everything down, change of external environment, things like that. Create who you are and know what you are. I was a very different person when I was, say, with my previous partner and things like that. So now I got to focus on me, and that's the biggest thing. Pretty much another thing that I really found beneficial when I was in this dark time was the support system that I had. I was lucky enough that I didn't even realize how, like, for the first few days I was quite alone. Then I put my dark side post out on my socials because I try to be as translucent as I can with my social media. Put that out, and the responses I got were insane. The messages that I got from a lot of you guys, a lot of the people that have been following me for years, people that are in the industry, and it wasn't just the messages just checking in to seeing if it was okay. It's people that have said, I've been through this before, or I didn't know that, I thought I was the only one suffering through this. And it seems to be a trend with post-comp, real post-comp kind of afterwards, that you will have those down times and that you're prepping for so long that you don't really know what to do afterwards. And they're the things that you need to keep, those small-term goals. Like if you're ungoaled and you're going to go free-for-all, well, yeah, you're asking for a negative outcome already. But if you've got short-term goals, you're having little wins throughout the day, you're making sure you do certain things, well, you're going to keep going. I always have an aim on goals. So me, I'm off season completely, and I'm still looking at October, and I'm knowing that that's going to keep me accountable to make sure that I just don't go off. I look at food very differently now. I got to make sure that I can maintain good body fats, those type of things, but something I enjoy. That's the biggest thing. If you enjoy prep and enjoy the way of eating, like I'm so happy eating rice and chicken and things like that, but start off with the small things. If you're a beginner coming in, don't just go, okay, rice and chicken. So it's creating good meals around it. And you look at some of my guys on my team, on my Abel Fitness coaching team, are creating like these awesome meals that don't take that much time, and they look like restaurant quality meals, but they're still comp prep and still healthy. So it's just a way that you're looking at it. We'll go more into that in the week 2 in Mastering Your Body of this series. So people, definitely driving on people that they don't, you might not even know the impact that you have and that you can kind of push. So moving on from this position where I did move up to this new town, it forced me to make some sudden decisions that, okay, I left my job at that current time where I was quite financially stable and it was safe there, and I moved that, completely cut that, and very fast I had to create, or had a few people talking about online coaching that they would go with me, so I quickly created this online coaching program that I pretty much launched in mid-January, so just before, it was about a week or 2 before I moved. So launched this, and it had a big result. So I had 6 signed up for my rookie show, and yeah, so I coached them the way I would normally coach people, and I've coached them face to face, but the online, I found the results were so much better, and I got faster results because I'm seeing them more often. I'm chatting to them, they've got the motivation, they've got their own little group on Facebook that they can keep each other accountable, and I'm using my psychological techniques to make sure that they are keeping on track. And I had 6 wins at rookies out of a lot of my clients, so they did very, very well. And now my business has blown up, and we've got about 25 on at the moment that are in the group, and then I've got a portion of them actually coaching with me. I'm sponsoring 2 athletes, so it's gone off in only 3 months, and because I had no other option, this had to succeed, this job. And now I'm at home and I'm on the beach and I'm working from wherever I want to be, and this is only the start. I really want to master this and then go off into something else and really kind of push other ways. But I want to make sure that I'm building this perfect, and I'm using my guys that are in the program at the moment to give me good feedback, bad feedback, and make sure that I build one of the best coaching kind of places and networking in the country. I want to be one of those top coaches, easy. And it's the way that it's going, and they're a part of my goals as well. So the other thing is what I'm going to really look at to get these goals that I did mention in that last episode, go check them out, is I've got to keep accountable. That's why this series is out. I'm making sure that I'm never going to miss a cardio because I've got so many people watching and relying on me. What skills do I need to learn? So to make those goals a reality, what do I need to learn, or who do I need to help? So I'm investing in time in learning from other people, and I'm going out and training with different type of people, not only on my training, which is a very predominant place for me, but business. So I'm taking more advice down the business stream and talking to mentors that I have that are very top quality business people. And my knowledge on fitness and nutrition is quite high. Business, not so much. I enjoy business, and businesses is one of my hobbies, and I've created quite a few in the time. And I'm very business minded, but it's just picking the brains of those guys that really kind of get results. So they're the kind of things that I'm into as well. So I'm really going to look at, and I'll probably take you guys in on the meeting, and then maybe the next episode meet a few people. But to be the best, you have to kind of learn from the best as well and pull from different places, which will be cool. And I'm going to be training with, at this expo, different type of people as well that are and absolutely breathe and love this industry just as much as I do, which is pretty hard to find. Which that will be the next episode, is going on to passions and then keeping everything alive from the passion. But this is the thing is, and I've had a few messages come out of it already in prep of this, and it is pushing on those dark times. And time does, if you are in the situation where I was in January, or you're sitting in those positions, or if I were to talk to myself back then and I was seriously sitting there thinking to myself, like, this is not gonna fade. This is like the worst feeling ever, and I don't know how it's gonna fade. Like, it was like I lost someone almost. So if I were to give my advice to that person that was sitting there in January, my past self, it would be that time does heal everything. Keep busy, keep into other interactions. Don't cut yourself off from other people, and make sure that you do go out there. You as a life have so much to live. There is so many options out there that you can actually take hold of, but if you're not out there in front of those options, they're not going to crash into you. You can't pull yourself back and go and take as much as you can. There is so much living to do, and take note of the small things, just like the sunrise coming up, the sun setting, things like that, and realize how good quality life could be. And opportunities are around every corner, and you just have to make sure you walk around those corners to get those little opportunities, and tiny little hints and things will start to come up. And trust me, from your darkest time becomes the best, and you cannot feel the best of you can without those dark times. So hit me up if you want, if you do have any other questions about any of this type of stuff. And I've been there before. If you need someone to reach out, I'm definitely here. I'll put some of the dot points from below. I would seriously recommend you creating your own personal kind of place of what makes you up. Write it down as well, save it, because you never know when you're going to be at the low times. You can read through that and know somewhat what path you need to take. They're the main things. Anyway, this has been a long episode. I want to kick you out with a montage of pretty much what my life is looking like now. I might have stick that at the start, so bring it in. These are the kind of things, what I'm looking at, where I would never imagine to be even close to where I am at now in January. Thanks guys. I will catch you in the next one, where we'll find our passions.